Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna do, I think, a dip today. I'm kind of enjoying these dips, but I'm going to be using Arteza. This is a 14 count premium acrylic paints. They are pouches. So they look like this. They have 4 ounces of paint. So roughly they would be equivalent to like a brand of paint that's in a 4-ounce tube. This is what it's comparable to as far as the volume goes. The one thing I can definitely say about Arteza paints is it's very high quality, good premium paints, and a little bit goes a long way, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to mix up a few colors for you here, and let's see, I'm going to do the lemon yellow and the yellow ochre, scarlet red, and phthalo blue. Those are going to be my 4 colors, and then I have white already pre-mixed in a container, and always I have white in my squeeze bottle. So I'm going to take a little bit of this brighter yellow, and I'm just going to basically squeeze enough to kind of get the bottom of a 3-ounce cup wet. So I'm not doing even an ounce. It's probably less than an ounce of paint. And that's what I mean by it takes very little, but you'll see why in a minute. And then I'm going to do one of the scarlet red. So I'm just basically squeezing in enough to touch the bottom of the paint. Then I'm going to do one that is part red, and I'm going to put some phthalo blue. Let's see, I think there's less of red in this cup. I'm going to put phthalo blue in with this one, and I'm going to mix this to get a purple color is what I'm aiming for, and we'll see how close I get to that. And in this one I'm going to do the yellow ochre, and I actually want to take just a touch of this red and put it in with the yellow ochre. Let me put just a little bit more red into this one here. I know that I'm good on the blue. So what I need to do is mix this one up and see if it turns to the right purple that I want. It's purple, but it's going to be like really, really dark. And when you have a dark, dark purple, when it dries, it almost turns black. So now what I need to do is add some white. So I'm going to add a little bit of their white in here. This is titanium white. And I may have added too much. We shall see. I didn't add too much white, but I do think I want to put a little bit more red in here. So it's kind of a soft purple. It's not really like a bright purple, but this will do the trick. And then I want this one to feel kind of like a warm, almost orangish color, but not quite. Just a warm golden color. It's almost like raw sienna. So now I've got the most of this color, but I don't even need that much color. I'm going to use Oatrol Easy Flow, which is a European company. You can get the product from oatrolusa.com or Amazon. It's in my Amazon recommendations list. And they are very gracious to give me free product to demo for you. And I actually love it more than Floetrol, but it's pretty much like Floetrol in America. But people outside of America can't always get Floetrol, so that's why I demo the Oetrol, just to show that there's other products out there. But this is very creamy and rich, and it also is very self-leveling. I have less fluggers in it, and it sometimes often dries to a more satin sheen than a matte sheen, which is very nice. It takes very little of the Oetrol, but I put probably a ½ ounce of color and an 1.5 ounces of the paint mixture. So a considerable amount more, not the paint mixture, of the Oetrol. So I would say it's 1 part paint to maybe 4 parts of the Oetrol Easy Flow. The Arteza really goes a long way as far as the pigment and how much you use. It really goes quite far. There are people outside of my studio sanding, so if you hear this crazy noise in the background, it is people sanding. I may have to do a voiceover to finish this video out. I want this to be fairly thick. So if you can see, it's coming off my stick, but it's a very thick dripping off my stick. So I have a 60 count Arteza box that I have as well that has 60 colors as opposed to 14, and I was going to use that, but I wanted to demo just this 14 color pack because sometimes you don't have 60 colors to choose from when you're doing your painting. I basically needed to add more red to this to make it purple, but it's kind of a purpley blue right now, and I'm just going to leave it as is. I keep dripping. Now I've got a hole in the bottom of my cup, that's why I'm dripping. Add 1 more squirt of water. And in my water, I usually do 90% water and 10% Oetrol or Floetrol. So it looks kind of milky when it comes out of the bottle, but it's mostly water with just a hint of Floetrol or Oetrol added into it, and that just makes it blend into the paint mixture a little bit better. So those are mixed up well enough. I'm going to spill my paint is what I'm going to do. I don't want to waste any. Just want to get the blue off of here. So I'm going to put a little bit of white on each canvas. And it does not have to be perfect by any means. I'm doing a dip, so I'm going to be smashing these 2 paintings together basically. And really I have done the dips more with a dry canvas on one, so I don't want a ton of paint on the canvas I'm going to be dipping onto the other canvas with. So I'm going to get rid of some of this onto this canvas here. So my white is pretty fluid. It's not super thick. Because when you see people mix paint like right in front of you, it's going to have more bubbles than if you had it sitting for a while because it's just all been stirred. So this time, instead of, I'm not going to do, usually I like to do lines that almost look feathery, and I love that look. And I'd kind of like to do it right now. Well, I really do want to do it right now. I'll try something a little bit different. I'm going to go straight up the canvas. So I'm going straight up the middle with my yellow. There's no silicone added to this paint. I'm not looking for cells per se. So a good amount of yellow. You can also kind of squeeze your little bathroom cups like this. You can kind of squeeze them to help try to contain your pour a little bit. That's why I love squeeze bottles, is because you can control better with squeeze bottles. And I don't want brown in the middle, the orangey color in the middle if I can help it. Okay, now I'm going to add the red. So I'm kind of going towards the outside edge each time. So I'm going to pour it off the canvas instead of going across. And now, this blue, basically, I'm going to do it right along the edge. And I don't want a ton of it. All right. There's a good bit of blue. I'm going to add a little bit of white right there because I smeared it. Get that little drip of yellow out. Okay, so this is the one that has the less paint on it. And I don't know why I did this. I meant to totally just put it on this canvas. And why I put it on both, I don't know, because now it's going to be hard to flip. But what I'm going to do is flip it really fast, lay them down on each other, and smash. I should not have put it on both canvases, but we're just going to see what happens. There's all kinds of talking in the hallway, sanding. It's kind of noisy out there, so I apologize. I'm pressing on the frame of the canvas too, but I can feel the dampness of the paint. Now, as far as separating them, when you separate your canvases, if you try to just pull straight up, the suction is really strong and it's kind of hard to get it to come straight up. It's almost easier to either pull it up from an end or pull it apart from the side. And when you do that, it kind of gives that feathery effect. So I really want the feathery effect to be on this end. So I think what I'm going to do is pull from the bottom end and go up. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. We're just going to see what happens. So I'm going to kind of slide and pull. And that did not work as planned, but I do like it. So I'm going to let it float down just a little bit here. So it's interesting. There's way more paint on this one than this one. And there's a bunch of cells, and I think the reason for that is just there was a lot of air bubbles in the paint. But I can't do anything about that now. So here come the cells. And someone asked if you can re-smash, and you can. I could press them back together and re-smash it, but I don't think I want to, so I'm going to just leave it be. I am going to add some white along the edges just to make sure that my sides are covered, because sometimes they don't always get covered when you're doing a dip. I could blow on this. I don't know if I want to, but maybe I'll try it in like one area. So the issue is going to be this one doesn't have much paint, so you can't blow it much, but this one does, and you can blow it. think I'm just going to leave it the way it is and not try to blow it. I'll just be content with what this is, but I should not have put paint on both sides, but that's okay. And I've got more cells going on here and not none, but less here because the paint is so much thicker here and not here. But there's no silicone, so this is just the paint reacting with the Oatrol. So I'm going to bring it up so you can see it up close. So totally not what I expected. But I'm gonna keep it the way it is. So that was an experiment with Arteza, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I see that my paintings are a little crooked on the camera. But anyway, if you will, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and then check on the links below the video where it says show more. There will be the colors listed, the products I use, my Amazon recommendations link, my PayPal and Patreon, my Facebook group. If you haven't joined me there, come join me and be part of my Facebook group. You can post pictures there of your work. You can message me. Other people are very good about being very supportive. There's some great artists in the group, so please come join us there, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.